By Commissioner Scott, and then Scott Lyons will lead us in the pledge.
Our Heavenly Father, we're thankful that we can be gathered here today and for this wonderful area that we live in. We'd ask a special blessing to be upon those that are serving in our community, our law enforcement, our first responders, and especially our medical professionals at this time. Please bless them in their service, and we're thankful for all that they do. Please bless us as we go over the items on the agenda today, that we can make the best decisions for the members of our county. Please watch over each and every one of them and our families as we're away. Again, we're thankful for the wonderful area we live in and for the many blessings we enjoy. And we say this in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Please rise and join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thanks, Commissioner Scott. Thanks, Scott, for doing that. Did you guys get a chance to look over the June 17th and the July 1st minutes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion then.
I'd make a motion that we approve the minutes from June 17th and July 1st.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, guys. Any administrative review items? I guess we probably need to discuss the COVID stuff, or do we have that further down here?
Actually, I think it's now.
Now? Okay. Well, do you guys have any future agenda items or anything that need to be discussed?
No future agenda
Okay.
items.
Former agenda items? Fire issues? Sounds like everything's quiet, so, well, emergency management issues. Mr. Scott, you want to just give us the lowdown on the latest numbers?
Yeah. Back on July 1st, at our last meeting, we were at 150 cases in the district. Well, just in Box Elder County, and we had 20 new cases in the district that day. Yesterday, we were at 238 cases just in Box Elder County. So we've had a decent jump over the last 2 weeks of 88 cases. We did only have 7 new cases, positive tests within the district yesterday. And so that's a trend that we've definitely been looking for, because we've been trending up pretty substantially. So only 7 new is good. We're sitting at just under 1,900 cases in the Bear River Health Department district. The majority of those, again, are in cash, almost 1,700, 1,600. And then we're just above 30,000 statewide. So we're still doing well on hospitalizations. The system isn't getting overwhelmed, but we're hoping it'll stay that way and we don't have some spikes like they've seen in Arizona, Florida, and some other places recently. So doing better this last week.
Good. Good to hear it.
The only thing I was just going to bring up, Bill just sent me a text and they are actually putting some grindings down out to Grouse Creek.
Yep, we started last Tuesday, so we're into the second week of hauling grindings from the I-84 project out to Grouse Creek.
So we figure we'll get 1.5, 2 miles, is that what you said, maybe?
Be close to a mile,
So
close to a mile.
that helps a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we're working on some drainage problems here the next little while too, it'll help. So that's exciting for Grouse Creek
Yeah,
and us.
every little bit helps.
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. Well, we'll move on to our 1035 item, forgiveness of tax penalties. Melissa Maldonado, and obviously she's not here. I guess she's in California.
Oh.
Sean, or do you want to come up and give us a little context to this, just for the record?
Sure.
We were contacted by Melissa Maldonado. She evidently works for Niagara Bottling. They were late with their personal property payment and incurred a penalty of 10% of the tax, which with interest is over $30,000. And she called requesting that the commission consider forgiving those penalties and interest.
Is this the first time they've had a problem?
They're pretty new. I don't know how long they've even paid personal property tax.
They've been here 4 years, probably?
Yeah, I didn't look specifically to see if they'd had a problem in the past.
Okay. I can't remember having a problem.
I mean, their personal property tax is gonna be pretty high because of how automated they are.
Pardon me?
I say their personal property tax is gonna be pretty high because of how automated they are. They've got a lot of
Yeah,
equipment.
yeah. Their personal property tax was nearly $300,000.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions, Joe?
I don't, no, that clarified it.
I'll just state my feeling right now is, I mean, we've all been there as far as at least I had the experience, and I just ended up paying my penalty. I know that we did an exception a while back, but the company also had some reporting. They were going through a change with their system. Some of the reporting and things were going on, and so we ended up making an exception there. But just for the fact that it got misplaced or it got forgotten, we've held other people's feet to the fire. I think my personal opinion is we keep the penalty in place, say sorry, and hopefully next year they'll be on time.
And then I'm underneath the impression if it's just their first time, I actually having, like Sean said, it's kind of a fairly new business and maybe they're not used to that. And I know that they said that they've had plenty of opportunities to, and I don't know how many people have ever been down there, but they're on such a skeleton crew that the same guy that cleans the toilets is answering the door and is the HR guy. And so I'm not sure if they have a specific, this person, whoever's in charge of it, probably had 3 different jobs because there's such a low, I don't know what you want to call it, staffed facility. So I honestly think that we should forgive it and tell them if it happens again, it won't happen. So that's my thought.
No, I got mixed feelings on it. I understand that they're fairly new, but they've been there a couple of years now, and it did go to the Ontario, California address. It wasn't something that was coming out of Brigham City, and so typically on these, what will happen is they've got a corporate real estate or a corporate for their tax department, and so they come in and they just have them on a schedule. And then they just go ahead and send them out to the different municipalities where they have personal property tax, they have real estate holdings. And so I'm certainly sympathetic that they missed it, but I think it comes back to a precedent if we continue to do this and we just have everybody coming in and we're basically allowing people to pay late all the time. And I mean, they could come in until who knows when, October, November, December. So.
And it was how many days late?
Approximately 15.
15 days? Is there something in statute that we can put in there that basically says 15 days late, 15 to 20 days late?
It's very clear in statute.
I know, I was just saying, so can we put something in statute?
If you're talking about future legislation, I think that all the different types of property should have the same rules.
Right.
Yeah, I was just
which
gonna
they
ask you
currently
about
have.
that.
They all have different rates of penalties and different things
What-
on interest. The treasurers have
Right.
corrected some of that.
So what about amounts? I mean, $30,000 is a lot, so,
Personal properties charge 10%.
right,
Real property up to 2.5%.
yeah. I just have a hard time with that whole $30,000.
And I am with you on that. And I don't know, I mean, we obviously don't have the ability to do that. That's mandated by the state, but
Right.
a 10% penalty for 2 weeks, I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
that's high.
It's pretty steep in my opinion. I mean, yeah, they have a lot of personal property because it's so automated. They're basically a blackout facility. You know, they got 50 employees in that whole area and everything else is personal property, so. Like I said, I struggle with 30 grand for a couple weeks, so,
I
especially
think
where
it'd be
they,
a great idea to run something in the legislature.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something we ought to approach the representatives about.
especially if it would be a cap or something to that effect, but like I said, 10% on, I mean, they already paid us 300,000 and then we're gonna ask for $30,000 more for 10 days, so.
It would certainly be easier to administer if things were more
Uniform?
similar between different types of property.
I know we talked about this last year. They were gonna try to do just like a cap type thing on some personal property. I don't think it ever went anywhere, but like I said, I have a tough time with the whole 30,000 for 10 days, so.
I agree, it's high, but I guess my
So
concern is the
is it all or
precedent.
nothing? I mean, and
I don't know that we can change
Lower
the
the-
penalty.
that's what
I
I,
would just say, Stan, I agree, if legislature's changed, we only go by what the law says. I don't
Right.
have any wish, but it's just that we are doing what the law states.
yeah, and that's what we're doing too, so we can either all or nothing, so that's what I'm just saying.
I mean, even,
So I have a struggle with the $30,000 for 2 weeks, and if our only option is to forgive it or not forgive it, for $30,000 for 2 weeks, then I lean on the thing to forgive it until we get the stuff changed, so. I mean, honestly, if that money had been spent someplace else, or if that had been a problem, but if it's just a kick in the teeth for 10 days, and we'll work on legislation, I guess, to rectify that thing next time, and we've had it a couple different times here, so I think it's something that we should look at in legislation. But if it's all or nothing, and we don't have I mean, I can see $1,000 penalty or something to that effect, but 30 grand?
The first time I looked at this, when I saw it, I thought that, the interest right there was the 217, and I thought, well, okay, I
That's
can
what
live with that.
That's what I looked at.
That's not a bad penalty for being 10 days late, but the 30,000 for 10 days, I'm with you. That is one area I really struggle. I don't want to set a precedent, where people can come in and this can continue to be an issue, but
that's my worry. Not that makes it right, that the 30 grand is justified. I mean, because it is high. But I think, we end up having people come in here using that as leverage until it gets changed by the legislature, saying, well, you did this, can you do this for me? And so that's where, I don't know, do we want to table this and talk to Steve?
To see if there's something we can do.
I mean,
if there was some way to meet halfway or, do a smaller penalty or something like that, I would certainly be willing to look at that.
I'd be good for that. If you want to table it, we'll talk to Steve. And
I just don't know how much
somebody to
latitude we have where this
I don't
is
really know that we have.
legislated from the state.
say. Okay. So I'd make a motion, we table this until we can get some further information on taxes and penalties.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Rob.
Thanks. Okay, Marla, you're up.
Alrighty, well, we finally have some board members for Portage, or Plymouth Cemetery, excuse me, not Portage. It's suggested that we appoint Verlin Hess, and his will be kind of like a 2-year term, expiring December 31st, 2021. And Barry Roderick, his term would expire 12/31/2023, and Rondell Anderson, his term would be 12/31/2023 as well.
Has the state stopped any of their funds because of the lack of people on the board? Do they have to go back and reapply, or is,
So, no.
Okay.
So they are in good standing right now. In fact, that's how I found out that they had a board that's actually started working again, is they registered their entity. They
Oh,
renewed it. Last year I paid for it. And this year, someone went in and put
Actually
in
did.
board members and everything. I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of different. And so they are in good standing at this time.
because I just know we got that thing from Dukel's office that we had like 17 that were in not good standing.
Yeah,
so
there are
we
quite
can
a few that,
Mark it down to 16 now.
yeah. So these guys, I actually have filed their reports. I don't think they've
Good.
not. Rondell Anderson has done it, even though he hasn't been reappointed for quite a few years. So,
Okay. And they've all been spoken with, all willing to serve this?
yep.
Okay, very good. I would make a motion that we appoint Verlin Hess and Barry Roderick to the Plymouth Cemetery Special Service District and reappoint Rondell Anderson for the terms as specified.
Second that motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Tom? How's everything in the auditor's office?
Just peachy. So this is resolution 20-09. It is the resolution that the Box Elder County Commission is approving the following property tax rates and revenues for the 2020 tax year. The county just took all of the certified tax rates for all its different levies. We have the general operation levy. It was set at .001662 to generate $8,322,663. The multi-county assessing and collecting rate, it is set at .000012. It is estimated to budget $66,188. The county assessing and collecting levy is .000301. Budgeted revenue is $1,659,699. County library, the bookmobile, its rate is set at .000121. Its revenue, $364,483. And the last is the municipal type services rate. It is set at .000385 to generate $859,835. So those are the rates for this year, for the 2020 year. Like I said, those were all the certified tax rates. So just need the commission to adopt them via resolution.
So they all went down just a little bit.
Yeah, all of them went down because values went up. So revenue would be the same, plus new growth, whatever new growth we had in the county for those areas.
Okay.
Okay. Any discussion?
Nope.
All right, and entertain a motion.
I make a motion we adopt resolution 20-09. Certified tax rate.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Just the E.
Sean, you're back up.
It still says budget.
We know what you're talking about.
At least I got the right year on this.
As you know, we use a lockbox to collect some of our taxes, and that service was previously provided by Wells Fargo. They've moved their lockbox out of the state, so we decided to go with Zions. They're the only other large bank that offers lockbox services. I had Steve take a look, I had County Attorney Hatfield take a look at the contract. He recommended that the commissioners approve and the commission chairs sign the first part of the contract titled Certification of Resolution and Authorization for Treasury Management Services. So that is the reason I'm here today.
Okay. All right, so do we
Do you
make
see,
a motion to do this, or you just need to?
yeah, we need to make a motion for the
Okay.
resolution. So Wells Fargo just stopped?
They have different lockbox locations throughout the United States. Salt Lake City lockbox services have moved to Seattle.
Oh, okay,
The autonomous zone.
all right.
I was looking through here and it didn't jump out at me. Is there a time period for this? Is it year to year?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that was the only other question I have. So, all right. Very good. I would make a motion that we approve resolution number 20-11, the authorization for management services with Zions for the lockbox.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Sean.
that's an electronic signature, so I'll have to go with you later so you can electronically sign that document.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
All right, looks like we're up to Bill on the Cody Kimber gravel pit.
I don't know why I got this. This is a emergency contact for Marathon Pipeline.
Okay.
You probably want to put that in your file instead of mine. Thank you.
So this is in continuation. We had went out for general advertisement in 2 local papers for a private historical gravel pit in the Grouse Creek area. The only one responding back was the Cody Kimber on a gravel pit located just south of Grouse Creek. We did come to an understanding on a contract. His first offer was 85 cents per ton with 1,500 tons of road base made as payment. And we have went down to 1,000 tons produced for him with the recognition that we're going to put 500 tons or more down for the access road and the pad area for the workings. So at this point, I think we are going to tie in this gravel lease agreement for 85 cents per ton. And he will also be manufactured 1,000 tons of 1-inch road base for payment on that. And this lease agreement, contract agreement, will go out to, it was December 1st of 2024. Besides that, it does name out that any of the bigger aggregate, the probably 8-inch plus rock would also become his property, but the county does have first option to buy that rock at 85 cents per ton. Our primary use is the road base and also the 1-inch rock, and we will also be making and manufacturing 1/2-inch C-chips to do chip seal in the Grouse Creek area for the next 10 years. So we will make a stockpile of that while we're there.
That's a good deal.
Okay.
How does that work if you make a stockpile? Is it a secure facility so that the stockpile doesn't disappear over the next 10 years? Or, I mean...
We are going to be putting up some gates and a
Okay.
small fence area to secure that. That is one of the premises of working with Cody, is we want to secure that area. And we also post property of Box Elder County on a sign
Okay.
stabbed into the pile. So we've done that recently in the last couple of years, of started posting all of our stockpiles. So we are going to buy a gate and also do a little fencing.
One thing about
Secure
out there, if somebody steals it, you just go to their yard and basically know who it is.
Yeah, it's not a high-traffic area, but...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'd make a motion, we approve the Cody Kimber gravel pit contract 20-40.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And you got the weed board?
We'll go over the speed limit study
Okay.
that myself and Brent Slater with Jones & Associates has completed on 4,000 North and 7,600 West. We did go through the sheriff's office to set up some speed counters,
And we did get back the data that the 80th percentile of the mass of the general public is driving at 44 miles per hour. So with that into the study, and also taking a look at the rural nature of it, it's mainly farm access. There is a high central area of residential housing. Can't remember the exact number of houses along
19.
that. 19 homes that's split on both the east and west side of Iowa String on that area right there. Currently, we have posted slow children at play signs, 25-mile advisory signs on both sides of the east and west side of those homes, trying to slow traffic down. Through this study, we have gave a recommendation that we set the speed limit to 40 miles per hour, which in good standing with most of your speed studies, they recommend not to deviate more than 5 miles per hour, either way at the 80th percentile. And also, we're also looking at proposing putting some stop sign ahead signs to slow traffic coming into Iowa String on both areas, and also the state road sections on the end of 7600 and 4000. So trying to give notice to those, and hopefully with delegating some of these advisory stop sign ahead signs will also calm the traffic coming into the residential houses right there.
I hope this takes care of it. I don't think it is going to be taken care of, but I hope it at least maybe appeases some people. So I know that they're looking for a 25 mile an hour, but I don't, residential areas where you have hundreds of homes or 25, and I just don't know if we can do the.
I think it sets a bad precedent that if a group of people along a roadway can get together and say, we want to make sure the county slows down traffic to 25, that would be a bad precedent to hit. I think from a standpoint of making the road safer for not only the residents but the public, I think we've done more than our due diligence in this matter.
Okay.
All right,
Very good.
entertain a motion.
I would make a motion that we approve the change and set the speed limit for 4,000 north, 7,600 west at 40 miles per hour.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We going to the weed board or?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's
Okay.
go ahead and take care of that. Specifically talking towards the bylaws, talking with Steve Hadfield on the matter, I think we're going to go forward in this regard as utilizing the state noxious weed law and the aspects within that code to govern the board at this time. We would want to ask the commission to allow the county weed board to set a 2-year term to the chair position on that board. I think that would be the only thing we'd ask at this time. And also, would like to appoint a new member to the board. Paul Hansen is going out. He served his 4 years. And we have a recommendation from the board to put Christian Buzz Nelson appointed to the board.
I'll make a motion that we approve the bylaws, an exception for that 2-year for the president, and appoint Christian Buzz Nelson on the weed board to take Paul Hansen's place, and thank him for his duties. He seemed like he was always there, so.
That's for the chair.
2-year for the chair, sorry.
And on that, it's a 2-year term for the chair, but the max that they can serve is 4 years consecutive.
So every board member will be still put at a 4-year term, and that's under the state code for the noxious weed law.
Okay.
So you could actually serve 2 years as chair and then still be retained on the board for your other 2 years and then delegated on to someone else.
Okay. Very good. I'll second Commissioner Summers' motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
The last item I have for you guys today is we're asking for a letter of support for a grant application to the Utah State Parks Division for what they call the OHV incentive grant. And this is specifically applying for monies that we can contribute back to restroom facilities for OHV users and also other recreational users in the Spiral Jetty area and also Park Valley.
And we already signed a letter of support for the Devil's Playground.
I think this is a great idea. As we were up there at the meeting for the fair board the other day, talking about what was going to happen, we were talking with a number of the residents out west, and they said, especially with the COVID going on right now and everybody trying to get out of the city and finding stuff to do, there's hardly a day that goes past that somebody's not stopping at residents' homes out there, either wanting, gas or wanting to use their restroom facilities. And it's just not a safe situation.
Yeah.
So
I think you can definitely see this, especially around the parking lot of the Spiral Jetty.
Yeah.
There's a tremendous amount of use there, and we're seeing areas around out in the sagebrush that it's hurting the site, and it's also probably bringing a warning on to some of the landowners in that area that we may not be able to put the restrooms right at that parking lot, but I think there's some state sovereign lands that's just east of it that would be a perfect fit to put these down.
To work it.
okay.
That'd be great. Because it's a public and health and safety issue.
The only other thing, Bill, I was gonna ask, I talked to Lisa from UDOT and kind of got support in whatever we're gonna do out there towards Park Valley, but I think they would be, if we ask them for signage, even like before Snowville, after Snowville, before you get to Park Valley, that says no services for X amount of miles, and keep doing that for the plain fact that, and I think you need to do the same thing coming in from Nevada. So when people come in from Nevada, they realize it's 2 hours before,
Yes, that would definitely be a great idea to maybe help with some of the issues that the residents right along SR30 through Park Valley are seeing with people stopping, running out of gas, is to get some additional informational signage at leaving Snowville and also out towards the Nevada line leaving Montello.
Yep.
We could do that.
And I know Jeff Hadfield and I have been talking to some other companies to try to see what else we can do in that aspect of helping that situation. So thank you for all the help you're doing with everything else we got going.
The
So,
restroom. Yeah, thank you.
so I'd make a motion that we approve the letter of support for the OHV off-highway vehicle incentive grant.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks for everything.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, Mitch. You made it in time. I was thinking I was going to have to maybe fill in, so
Yeah, sorry.
you can
I was
explain it better than me, so.
at the school board meeting just now, so.
Oh,
Let's see, the first one is the amended resolution. So back on May 20th,
You might want to tell everybody who you are first.
Mitch Zundel, Economic Development.
Sorry, I just know when people are listening, they're like, who is that?
On May 20th this year, you guys adopted Resolution 2007. The next day, Attorney Hadfield threw out a few clarification things, and that's what this amendment is just clarifying a few different, adding Box Elder County to some of the language and some other things. It's pretty minor changes. I don't know if you have any questions regarding it. This resolution creates the Box Elder Economic Development, Box Elder County Economic Development Board, the CED board, which came out of Senate Bill 95 this year, as you know, and and we've had a few meetings already.
yep. So, yeah, unless you guys have any questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve the amendment.
I'd make a motion that we approve amended resolution 20-07 for the Box Elder County Development Board.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Which is next?
Do you have that by chance? Just gonna put one in a blue folder, so I'm just wondering if you have that.
I have one on my phone.
All right, I'll call that.
I don't have a printed version, but I'll get you one.
Okay.
Yeah, you mentioned we've had a couple of meetings already with our new board, and so we're gonna have to set the terms of who's doing
Yeah,
what.
is that the next one?
Yep.
Yeah, so this next item is setting the terms. We didn't set the terms when we created the board, and I'm not sure exactly why, but the proposal or recommendation to you is that there's 4 members that will be a 2-year term and 3 members that would be a 4-year term. On the 2-year term, we have Commissioner Hatfield, Norm Fukui, Lyle Holmgren, and Dean Stokes. And on the 4-year term, Eden Johnson, Corbett Austin, and Malone Mulgard. So I don't know if you want to make a different recommendation, but that was what Commissioner Hatfield and I talked about, so.
No, it looks good.
I think I just seen have you on a 4-year term, but
Sorry. I'll have to be in at large if I continue on. Anyway,
okay.
yeah, we just had Eden put in as the chair
Yeah.
this last meeting, so Eden Johnson's the chair.
And
Does that
Malone
need to be-
Mulgard's the secretary, and I'm Lyle
And
Holmgren
Lyle's
is
the vice chair.
Vice chair.
Yeah,
So.
so,
Do you need a recommendation, do you need a motion for that? Or is that just part of your bylaws?
Well, I think it sets. I think it's good to
Okay.
set the term.
I'll make a motion, we set 2 and 4-year terms of service for the CED boards and pass them as you just said. I'm not gonna repeat them.
yeah.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And last but not least, our CED board made a recommendation to you as a commission board to apply for the Rural County Grant Program funding, that Part A at an amount of $95,833.33, to create a grant program for the economic development
Yeah.
grant program for the county. So,
We wanted to get that coming as soon as possible. We've got a preliminary survey that's been sent out to the businesses so that we can get some feedback to find out how much interest there is and who's interested in applying.
and we're looking at the CED board looking at dividing it up into possibly 3 different funds: 1 to 5,000, 5 to 15, and 15 to 30. So obviously, if the interest is all in the $30,000 grant programs, then there'd only be 3 grants?
Yeah.
This doesn't
Givens.
coincide with any of the CARES Act funding,
It does not.
and then you let them know that they can't apply for the same thing between the two, so they can't apply for the same funding. So if they've applied for your funding, they can't apply for the CARES Act funding for the same thing. Right?
We haven't, but
Well, they can't. That's what I'm just saying, so I hope they
it's
know
good to
that.
know.
Yeah.
Can't be double dipped.
And this is set up too, that they have to basically have some skin in the game. They gotta match the funds.
Yeah. They can't use this for matching funds, or the CARES Act for matching funds
Yeah.
either.
Okay. All right. I'd entertain a motion to get that money coming.
Just looking through this quick. I would make a motion that Sir, there's not a resolution or authorization or anything on this, is there?
Nope.
I'd make a motion that we authorize the CED board to go after the funding for the business grant program in the amount of $95,833.33.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mitch.
Mitch.
Okay, Scott Lyons, you're up.
Actually, he was sleeping back there. Are you up now?
So the first subdivision we have, Scott Lyons Community Development, and we've got 4 subdivisions on the agenda today. The first one is the Annie's Landing subdivision, Phase 2. This one is located in South Willard, 7550 South, Highway 89. It consists of 8 lots, approximately half an acre each lot, and it has been through the review process of all applicable departments and comes with a recommendation of approval.
I'll make a motion, we approve Annie's Landing subdivision, Phase 2, 8-lot subdivision.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay.
So our next one is the Tuliview Farms subdivision. This is a 3-lot subdivision located on 2400 West and 2617 or 2621 North is Lot 1. It's 3 lots, and this one also has been through the review and approval of all applicable departments and comes with a recommendation of approval.
Okay. You guys have any questions?
I don't-
No, I'd make a motion that we approve the Tuliview Farms subdivision.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the next one we have is the Cody
Rysdale.
how do you say it?
Rysdale.
Rysdale?
Is it misspelled?
Rysdale.
Rydell?
Right.
Rydell?
I think it might be misspelled.
That's what I
I
wondered.
used to ride my boss, but
Really?
Anyway.
That's how it came in on the application
Okay.
and from his
Right.
surveyor is Rydell.
okay, I'll believe you. I always call him
Okay.
Rysdale.
Okay.
Anyway, this is a 1-lot subdivision. It's located on 6800 North, 5509 West. It's 1.75 acres in size. This one also has been through all applicable county department reviews and comes with a recommendation of approval.
Okay, any questions?
I'll make a motion that we approve the Cody last name subdivision for approval.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Reidsel? Anyway,
All right, the final one we have is the Deweyville Manor Estates, AKA Zachary Anderson subdivision. So the reason I say that is at the Planning Commission level, this one was approved as the Zachary Anderson subdivision. Apparently between the Planning Commission approval and County Commission approval, he thought Deweyville Manor Estates sounded better on the sales marketing, I guess. That's what the final plat is having listed on it and would be recorded as the Deweyville Manor Estates. So this is a 9-lot subdivision. It's located on 3400 West, just north of Deweyville, approximately 11600 North. And this one has also been through the review of all applicable county departments and comes with a recommendation of approval.
Is this one on the map here? Oh, that's the other one. I was looking to go on, there's 10 lots here, but I think that's from the other subdivision.
Yeah, that came
Okay.
from a different subdivision to
All
the
right.
north of it.
Okay, very good. I would make a motion that we approve the Deweyville Manor Estates subdivision.
AKA Zach Anderson,
Zachary Anderson.
Zachary Anderson. I'll second that motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Do you need those signed?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, do you wanna bring that back up since Steve showed up?
Let's see. Okay.
Whichever is your food.
As long as they're not stuck together. Is that one? Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure whether.
Well,
let's see.
I'm not gonna be around tomorrow, so if they're, you can before the weekend. Brian, because he could,
And last but not least.
Want to trade?
Surely.
Surely.
that's probably true.
Tell Lindsay thanks.
I'm glad it worked.
I wish,
I'm so glad it worked.
I wish they would have, rest of the box come the day of.
So you got a few thousand bookmarks?
Yeah, if you guys want to have some bookmarks, or, I got plenty.
I was gonna call you and ask you if you were bringing your truck, 'cause I was so.
Oh, you're all good.
Over here, I didn't get a chance, so.
I just had my car, I had to come early, so I just kind of forgot about it until,
That's fine. I was gonna try and get it wrapped up tonight, last night, but.
Jeff said he can't do it, so
What's that?
he said you can't do the
You can't
slide.
slide?
Your kids would love it.
Yeah, they
Take it
would.
to Marla's house, just walk across the street.
All your kids would love it.
let my lawn cure a little bit.
It's
We
definitely
could,
built for adults.
We might be able to do it in the front yard. Backyard is just so small.
Start it on your patio.
Terrible.
And in your grass. It's got enough cushion.
It ended on a patio.
Yeah, road rash. Better yet, your boys would probably do it for your second story window.
Yeah.
Maybe what I need to
Probably
do
would.
is, just look for one of these lots in one of these subdivisions. It's a half acre to an acre.
How about, taking it to the cat? That's
Oh.
what you do now, you gotta.
Do you have enough slope on the hill there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the only problem is, I'm afraid that the gravel and the trees and the roots and stuff would just destroy it. No, we've actually thought about that, getting one of those heavy-duty tarps, like those signs that Saunders and Reagan have, and put that down the hill from the water tower.
Doing like the one from.
Like a
Little bare
old
bones.
Maine,
Yeah.
one they used to do up there on.
Because we've got a hill that's just absolutely
State.
perfect on the other side. We'd have to go through there, and we'd have to get some roots and some rocks out of there, or you'd be, yeah, one time in it.
One time in it. That's funny.
Yeah, I remember sliding down Old Main Hill
Oh,
as
on
a
ice
teenager. No, on a tarp. They had a
blocks?
tarp.
We did it on ice blocks.
And we were there for a family reunion. Stan Kazare was the president at the time.
And he was doing it.
And
with you?
yeah, he went up there and he slipped and he went boom and landed on his back and his head just popped and hit the ground. And he just kind of laid there as he slipped down the hill like he was almost unconscious. It was bad. I felt bad for him.
Steve's got him some new reading glasses. Anybody notice that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I said, somebody's got some new reading glasses.
No, these are just, I didn't bring my portable ones. These are ones usually on my desk. I forgot them.
They're from your secretary's, I guess?
Wow. Hope you don't need
I thought you were
anything,
smart enough. You don't know about the attorney.
I hope you don't need anything important the next time you call Steve.
I'll just ask Mitch to do it for me.
Just ask what?
You don't need to worry about passion tips from Stan.
Thank goodness. Do you have anything for a closed session, Steve?
If you wanna talk about.
Okay, I'm gonna go back. Our first item was forgiveness of tax penalties by Melissa Maldonado from Niagara. And the penalty is a 10% penalty, so it's about 30, just south, or just north of $30,000
For 10 days.
for a 10-day late period. What the question came up was, how much latitude do we have as far as, I don't want to set a precedent of just saying, well, okay, we'll forgive the penalty, because then everybody else can come in and use that as leverage. Do we have the ability, is there any way you can look and see, do we have the ability to reduce that penalty, or it's a state penalty?
Or is it all or nothing?
Yeah, do we have to just basically forgive the whole
I can look
thing?
into it. My assumption would be you've got the ability to waive anything.
And that's what I was,
And so my assumption would be you can waive whatever you want, part, all. I mean, it's a state penalty, but the taxes you're waiving aren't your taxes either. I mean, you're waiving those as well, you know, in the school districts and whoever else.
well, now it's a penalty.
Yeah, but it's no different than the tax.
Yeah.
It's on the penalty portion.
I can look into that and see.
Okay, we tabled the item because you weren't here, but that was the question we had was, do we have any latitude that way, or is it an all or nothing deal?
Because with real property, I think Sean said that the max is like 2.5%.
Yeah,
And this is 10%.
first month's 1%, and then it goes to 2.5 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if
What
it,
was the discussion? Who was here from, was there anybody here? from-
nobody,
Nobody.
yeah, it goes to their office in California.
Okay.
And they said that they just misplaced it. And so it was due on the 15th. It was received on the 29th. And so it's basically 2 weeks. But, I mean, we're talking 30 grand for 2 weeks. And so
So
When
make
we-
sure I understand. What's the tax amount?
it was just over 300,000.
Okay, and 10% of that,
Yeah.
okay. And any input from staff before I got here?
What's that?
Any input from the staff?
Yeah, they just
Yeah, it's
basically said that it is what it is, and
They've got to follow the
you
law.
gotta follow the law, and I'm like, well, I'm following the law, if I'm able to, if it's all or nothing, then I was going towards the nothing, but if there was any way we could reduce the penalty,
Okay.
because I think 30,000 is just horrendous. And was it Newport, right? Because theirs was 90-something thousand?
It was almost 100 grand, but they had an issue with their
Right.
switchover. That's why I said there's
Had a
a
new,
difference there. Their
controller.
program.
New controller.
Yeah,
And, yeah.
so,
But I still think then theirs was only 30 days late or something, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
I can look into it.
okay.
And I mean, I would be amenable to doing something. I mean, if we could, just saying, hey, we've got to do something. I mean, obviously, this was an error on your part. We can't set a precedent.
What was
Just
the
saying-
interest, $300, $297?
Interest was like 217. And then the tax was, the penalty was like 30.
30,000.
I mean, if we could go down to, I would be fine with going down to like 1,000 or something. I mean, that's pretty low on
Including the,
interest.
yeah,
So that, people, so that there is a consequence.
Yeah.
And so that we're not financing somebody's taxes.
Right.
Because if there's no consequence, we would be financing everybody's taxes in the
Well,
long
and
run.
it's like Rod said, then does he just put a disclaimer in everything he sends out and basically says,
Well,
if you don't
that's what he
agree with
says
this?
anyway. That's
you
what
know,
he tells
don't
everybody
come to
anyway.
commission. But he's saying, do I just send them out in letters with everybody? Because, yeah,
But that's what happens when they have a question, that's what he says, so. Is there any difference between that and actually letting them know? I don't know.
Okay.
so, okay, all right, thanks. All right, well, it looks like
We don't have anything for.
we don't have a closed session, so
Motion to adjourn?
I'd entertain a
Second.
motion. I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Dale, thanks for that email.